Thank you all for joining us. We'll start out with, I'll go ahead and introduce all of the candidates first, just go through the list, and then we'll go to the individual candidates so that you can have your 2 minutes. Sound good? Okay, so City Commission candidates are Lisa Larson, Bart Littlejohn, Stuart Boley, Amber Sellers, Makakwa Jones, and Milton Scott. And then for our school board candidates, we have Kay Emerson, Kelly Jones, G.R. Gordon Ross, Nate Morshus, and Elizabeth Stevens. And Andrew Nussbaum isn't able to be with us this evening. So thank you all for being here. We'll get started just right away with Lisa. So Lisa, you're up first. Oh, sorry, I'm.
Am I unmuted now? Okay,
You are.
I'm good to go. Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Lisa Larson, and I'm a current Lawrence City Commissioner. I have been on the commission for 6 years. I'm a former small business owner, as well as a licensed geologist and a Kansas certified mediator. Some of the areas of focus for me has been infrastructure, affordable housing, economic development, as well as climate issues on the local level. As far as infrastructure goes, I'm specifically working to support the technological advances that evaluate our maintenance and repair needs. You know, this has and will continue to lead to an increase in more efficient system of dollar allocation to address those needs. Affordable housing, I've worked on developing policies to begin the process of addressing this issue. This has led to the passage of the sales tax for affordable housing, as well as reviewing our codes to address density issues to make housing more affordable. To date, we've allocated more than $4 million to this endeavor, and this funding has brought relief to 445 families in Lawrence to date. I've also worked on bringing economic development to our community. The policies we passed in 2017 are actually showing really great results, including $70 million of new capital investment into our community. And this includes 440 to 500 new jobs that will pay a living wage. Most of those will have a starting wage of at least $16 to $17 an hour. You know, I also will continue to support policies that keep Lawrence moving forward in addressing climate issues. I supported the ordinance to move Lawrence to 100% green energy by 2035. To date, we've converted the city's energy grid to 98% wind energy. We've also invested $11.3 million in upgrade to city buildings that will reduce our carbon footprint. And this has a guaranteed payout over 20 years. And to date, we've saved over $1 million in energy costs. So all of these issues and policies are reflected in our community strategic plan, which we put together this last year. So if re-elected to the commission, I will continue to move forward with policies just like this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. And next up is Bart Littlejohn. Bart?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. First, I want to thank the League of Women Voters for presenting this event and bringing us all together. I'm pretty excited to be on this call and discuss these issues and the great possibilities for our city today. I came to Lawrence about 25 years ago to go to KU, and I was one of those folks that just never really left. At that time, I've had the opportunity to work for a myriad of companies and be a part of this great town and try to help it out as much as I can. I'm running for the folks who aren't heard, who aren't accounted for, and who work every day in this town. The best way I hope to address that and tackle that is by starting conversations and building coalitions. That's the best way I work. I do that and then try to invite people to be a part of our success. I did a lot of that when I was the president of the Pinckney Neighborhood Association, going door to door and getting to know my neighbors. And I plan on transferring that mentality to the city of Lawrence as a whole. It's my goal to work as hard as possible, bring as many people together as possible so I can provide solutions that get us focused on equity, housing, and economic development. And when I speak to equity, I speak to the fact that I need to make sure that everyone has the same access to maintain their health, quality and healthy food, and a safe space to live. And when I talk of housing, I'm talking about availability, accessibility, affordability, those key three things. And when I talk about economic development, I'm talking about economic development for all. So I feel a lot of the times people are left out of that process, and people don't necessarily realize the success that the city intends for it. So I want to make sure those people aren't being left out. So thank you again for having us, and hopefully we can, discuss some great possibilities for Lawrence.
Thank you very much, Bart. Stuart Boley, you are next.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Stuart Boley, and I'm running for re-election to the Lawrence City Commission. Thank you to Kristen and to the League for providing us this opportunity to visit with you today. My wife and I returned to Lawrence in 1983 to raise our family. We've been here ever since. In 2009, I retired from my career at the IRS, and after that, I worked for 6 years as the administrative officer of the Douglas County Community Foundation. I support strong and welcoming neighborhoods, trusted public safety resources, economic development, streets and stormwater systems, and parks and recreation services, including the Lawrence Loop. Our community deserves excellent city services that are fairly priced and equitably provided. As a member of the next commission, I would offer experience and continuity to the challenges we face. I ask for your vote in the general election. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Stuart. And Amber Sellers, you are up next.
Good evening, everyone. And I want to start by prefacing, I do apologize for my voice being a little hoarse. I just came back from a trip to DC, and I may have been doing too much talking and advocating while I was there. So I wanted to make sure I had some tea and saved up enough of my voice to chat with you all. So thank you again, Kristen, and to President Emily of the League here in Johnson County. And thank you to all the candidates who are here this evening engaging in this conversation. For those who do not know, I'm Amber Sellers. No braids, rocking the natural hair. So make sure I make that connection. But I am one of your candidates for City Commission, and I'm proud to serve our community as a state employee, but most importantly as a civically engaged individual who truly believes in bringing information to the community and working for the community and working for the people, ensuring that that people are centered in policies. Throughout the arc of my career, I've had the joy of serving families and serving our community through outreach and engagement, through education, and now as someone who works in public health and public policy, doing the research, engaging in legislation and regulations and statutes to ensure that the policies and the individuals who are in charge, who are elected to create those policies, are doing them with the people in mind and focus, but as well as reaching back and educating and empowering individuals in our community to speak their truth and to engage and have fruitful discussion as well as discourse with their elected officials. And so when I made the decision to run for City Commission, it was to be the bridge and to be the connector to the community and to public policy and to city governance in order to bring, to be a sincere, intentional, unapologetically people-focused commissioner, which is something that, not to say that we're lacking in our community, but we definitely need to amplify to a higher power and so into a higher level. And so the policies and platforms that
Hi, Amber. I'm so sorry, you've hit your 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. So just real quick, my policy points focus on human infrastructure, growing outside of that of roads and bridges, the affordable housing piece of us creating a comprehensive housing plan, and most importantly, expanding our lens of economic development to focus on small businesses. Thank you.
Thanks, Amber. And the nice thing about the small groups is that you all will get to ask each candidate about what you've heard in the small groups. All right, so Makakwa Jones is up next. Makakwa?
Yeah, hear me? Everybody hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Okay. My name is Malcolm. I moved to Lawrence in 2009. I started my education here at Haskell Indian Nations University. That's where I really got a feel for like in Lawrence. My educational background, I have focused on underrepresented communities, underrepresented community experience, and a lot of kids, and mostly focused on, who are the marginalized groups? What are they? What's their quality of life like? That's how I began my life in Lawrence. I've experienced homelessness in Lawrence. I've experienced houselessness in Lawrence. I rely on community resources. That experience focused my education. Focusing on policies, local policies for these underrepresented, marginalized communities. And so I use my educational background to approach my decision making and ideas. When we're talking about access, but to have a personal that is interesting to to understand what access barriers are. To my campaign, that's what I went to City Commission, and that's what I hope people will vote for, is my personal experience and background. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Makakwa. Thank you. I think your internet connection is a little bit unstable, so I don't know if turning the picture off, it's always great to see you face to face, but if you need to turn the picture off while we're in the small groups, then that might help a little bit. I'm not sure. Okay, thank you. All right, and last but not least, Milton Scott. Welcome, Milton. Oh, I muted you, sorry. You'll need to unmute, there you go, great, thank you.
Again, I'm Milton Scott. I would say both my life and professional experience set me apart from the other candidates. I grew up in public housing in a high community of poverty to obtain my master's degree from KU and became a professional administrator and a member of the American middle class here in my adopted home of Lawrence. I've been here for 41 years. I spent most of my time in the career of affordable housing, and I know those issues locally and nationally. And as a single father, I personally encountered a wide range of family-related issues that I can bring to the table in the discussion and be able to understand what's going on in the community. I've been involved in a variety of local organizations, including past president of the League of Women Voters. I was site council chair at Sunset Hill and also Free State High School. I also serve as chair of my trustee of my church, Ninth Street Missionary Baptist Church. And all of this was my quest to learn and to give back to the community. The three areas that I will focus on is affordable housing. I think I'll be able to move the needle in that area. And probably in 1999, the Housing Authority looked at and was asked to look at how we can recreate public housing. And at that point, it was three of us, Barbara Hubbard, Charlie Kanoki, and myself, we sat down and transformed how we administered public housing. And it was one of the 23 public housing chosen in the country at the time. And from that point on, it's been 20 years, and it has been going for 20 years of ways to improve how we provide that services in our community. Also looking at a utility rates. I experienced firsthand with residents that couldn't afford housing and the utility rates. I want to look at how we can freeze that and give a relief to our community. Utility rates have increased about 45% since 2015, and they go hand in hand with affordability. And I know that from firsthand. So I want to be able to share and express that to the rest of the commission and community as we look at budgets. I also want to look at how we can improve infrastructure.
I'm so sorry, your 2 minutes are up. If you can wrap up.
Okay, and infrastructure, so I want to look at that area as well. So I look forward to having further discussion with you. Thank you. And again, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Milton. Okay, so that concludes our slate of city commission candidates. We appreciate you all being here. And then we'll go on now to our school board candidates. Kelly Jones is up first.
So my name is Kelly Jones, and I am running for re-election. So in the last year, I served as the board president during the pandemic, and I learned quite a lot in that experience. And I wanted to have the opportunity to continue to build on those things which I have learned and to expand the areas that I'd like to see the district grow in. So my priorities have been rooted in our belonging, engagement, and equity work, and I drafted the equity policy in collaboration with my colleagues Shannon Campbell and Melissa Johnson. We did a participatory policy making where we engaged the community in that and drafted the equity policy even during the pandemic. And then additionally, I would like to see us work on our ability to increase wages for our both our educators in the LEA union and also our educators and support staff in PAL CWA. So I have worked in the negotiations committee to do that and continue to advocate for increases in wages for our staff. Additionally, I'd like to see us be able to grow our contingency funds within our budgets and reserves so that we are stronger financially and fiscally as a district. And really doing all of that in a way to serve our students. Kristen mentioned that I am not in Lawrence. I'm actually in South Dakota, where my family is from. I am a baker's daughter, a proud baker's daughter. And I'm here with my family where I am really rooted in this space where I came from, and where I came from was a little less privileged than where I am right now. And I know that I have the privileges I do right now because of the public education that I had access to. I'm a social worker by trade. I am a professor of practice and the director of field education at the KU School of Social Welfare. I've served in hospitals and prisons and in schools, and I've been in thousands of homes in Douglas County, and I can tell you for certain that those individuals who have access to good quality public education do better in all of the areas that we saw our city council talking about in terms of housing, their access to food, their access to good health care. Those things start and are rooted in our investment as a community in public education, and I would like the opportunity to continue that work I've done and really grow Lawrence's public schools to a space that we're proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you very much. Kay Emerson is our next candidate.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Kay Emerson. I'm very excited to be here tonight. Hello, Lawrence. Hello, our hosts. It's really just an awesome experience to be here and have another opportunity to speak with everyone. So, like I said, my name is Kay Emerson. I'm running for school board. Originally, I'm from Topeka, Kansas. I came here about 20 years ago, and I went to the University of Kansas. I got my degree focusing in psychology with a focus in child development. I do hold a master's degree in human services. I'm a wife. I'm a working mother. I'm a devoted community member, and I'm really kind of focused on improving, our opportunity access in our choice of learning. In our public schools. So, my background, I would say it's in national service, career counseling, business negotiation, grants management, ESSER funds. And so it's really for me, like being able to take what I have learned and being able to apply it to our community. So, as we know, it's really important that every youth, student, and staff, and of course our teachers have equitable experiences, resources across our schools. But it's going to be able to take the fact that we all have to be a part of it. And so that means whether if you have kids in our district or don't have kids in our district, it doesn't matter, you live here. And I really want to kind of build in and leverage our resources that are really great here in Lawrence to help us achieve some of those things. So my focus is our opportunity and making sure that we all have those opportunities, regardless of what school sites that we're in or where we're working at. You know, I want to make sure that, you know, that I am not the voice for you, but I'm able to help kind of elevate those voices, your voice, and being able to help represent our schools and get things done. So there's so much more I could say, but I will stop here and say, you know, I'm really looking forward to having that conversation with you guys here in just a little bit. And you can always just reach out to me at both KMSM. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Kay. And your microphone was kind of in and out a little bit too. I don't know if it's positioning or the internet. My internet has flaked out several times when I've been hosting Zooms just recently, so cross fingers. Anyway, thank you. And our next candidate on the list is G.R. Gordon Ross.
Good evening. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Lee, for hosting this, putting this on. I'm really grateful to be here. Like Kelly, I'm also running for re-election. I've had the privilege the last 4 years to represent Lawrence on the school board, and also consider it a privilege to have served with her on the board for the last 4 years as well. Some of the things that we've been able to accomplish in those last 4 years, hiring Dr. Lewis is probably one of the biggest things that we've been able to accomplish. Kelly talked on the equity policy. We developed and started to root a lot of our decisions in a 5-year strategic plan that we passed. We've also done some other policy decisions. Personally, I've been intimately involved in the facilities work of the district. I believe in that work, believe in having strong, modern, and accessible facilities. And so why I'm running for re-election is I believe a lot of the work that we've done is yet to be finished. And I believe that have experience and knowledge of the workings of the district can help bring a lot of that work forward. I initially ran for school board because my mom was on the school board when I grew up, and set an example for me of giving back to my community and serving. And like Kelly, I owe a lot of my success in my career to the public education that I received. I believe in public education. I believe in what it can provide to our community, to our scholars, and to their future. And I believe in giving back and helping to propel our district forward. I believe the biggest thing that we have facing us right now is to take the lessons that we learned from last year during the pandemic and not to let those lessons go, not to let them be lost, to take what we've learned to be able to incorporate them going forward. And I hope to continue to do that if given the opportunity to serve 4 more years on the school board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, GR. And Nate Morshus.
Hi there, my name is Nate Morshus. I own a business downtown called RPG. I'm an elder at my church, and I sit on the boards of the Lawrence Restaurant Association and Trinity and Home Care. I'm also a biracial Filipino American. I have 4 children in the school district, 2 of whom are adopted through foster care and 1 of whom has special needs. I'm running for school board in order to help bring unity to Lawrence, as communities all over the United States are being torn apart from disunity. I believe in preparing our students for marketplace readiness, the mental well-being of teachers and students as we all recover from COVID, as well as bringing financial stability to the district. But what I'd really like to talk about during my time right now is what I have learned from this campaign. I've learned a lot about myself. I have learned that there's a great difference between campaigning and governing. And to be honest, I'm not much of a campaigner. I admire my fellow candidates who do have that skill in spades. And I believe that my weakness in campaigning partly has to do with my work as a registered nurse during the pandemic, which has intensified greatly over the past 2 months. But it is also the fact that I tend to be pretty centrist in my politics. This has been good in my ability to find common ground with just about everyone, hence my desire for bringing unity to the city. But I guarantee you will also find things that you disagree with me about. So I felt like I've struggled in campaigning, but my strengths lie much more in actual governing. I am a serious, devoted, and creative person, and I can get things done in our community. In fact, I already have. Part of what I mean is that I have molded my business's budget to allow us to pay our employees no less than $15 an hour and still providing an exciting and engaging work environment. And despite all the pressures and loss of revenue related to the pandemic, I've still balanced our budget. I have actually done it successfully, and I can offer those skills for the district. So if you're looking for a candidate who truly understands the complexity of leadership, cares deeply about the community, has upstanding character, and who can lead an organization through a global catastrophe while still taking care of the staff, then I'm your candidate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nate. And next is Elizabeth Stevens.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Really grateful to be here and thankful to be amongst all of you fine folks. So my name is Elizabeth Stevens. I am running for a seat on the school board. I am, I think of all the candidates that I've heard, I think I'm the only native Lawrencian. So super excited to rep Lawrence. So I'm from here, grew up here in Lawrence. My family immigrated here generations ago, and I am fortunate enough to have gone through Lawrence Public Schools, as well as raised 4 children, one of whom is graduated and all grown up, so they say. So I'm incredibly grateful to have had the experience to be from Lawrence and to understand what it's like to grow up in the community. I come from a single mom background. My mom worked her tail off to take care of my sister and I. And I am someone, I believe in the power of the lived experience. I believe in truly, in order to really get an accurate policy and procedure that is reflective of those we serve, we have to diversify our governing structures. And we like to say that a lot, but what does diversifying governing structures actually mean? It means looking at folks who who come from all different backgrounds, racial, socioeconomic, and educational. So that's really what I hope to see, that diversification within our governing structures, and then to also advocate for kids who live in the margins, our kids in foster care, group home placements, and homeless youth. How can we prioritize those kids in any of our policies and procedures moving forward? I think that's my time. I could go on longer.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much, Elizabeth. And thank you to all of our candidates. That concludes our slate of candidates for school board. So we appreciate all of you all being here. The next portion of the program, we're going to divide everybody up into small groups and breakout rooms. And you'll have probably 3-ish people per room. And you'll get to ask questions, and each candidate, and if you don't have questions, then the candidates can tell you a little bit more in depth about what their priorities are. Hello, everyone. And
wow.
It's fast.
Yeah.
I date better in person.
Are you going to kick me out? Are you going to kick me out? I just want to know. I just want to know ahead of time.
Okay, for all the candidates, raise your hand if you made it out of a breakout room, not mid-sentence.
The question is, how many times did it happen, right?
Right.
Okay, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, but it was good. It was thought provoking too. So that was having that interaction. So and hearing from the individuals the different questions that you probably wouldn't get a chance to hear, you know, in other means and stuff. But it was I think it was great. But some of mine flowed to other unit areas where they were having that same discussion. So it was good.
That's good. Yeah, it is. it's a funny thing to be in listening to you guys in mid-sentence and then
I think
you know when you
I think
I've
my
never speed
favorite
dated
line.
before, but I may not be a fan of speed dating after this. So
My favorite line that I heard was when I jumped into a breakout room and somebody said, "Oh, I was in the middle of having a conversation with Kelly, and now I finished it with you." It's very odd.
Well, I had one, Amber was already in there and they injected me into that same room, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. We tag teamed off each other. Had a good tag team conversation.
Yes.
I think Stuart and I went on a date. So
I asked Martha if she had any questions for me.
Martha, will you be giving Stuart the final rose tonight?
Oh.
only time will tell. Only time will tell.
That's right. Oh, that's
That was a hoot. That was a hoot, that's for sure.
yeah, definitely.
So I would like to just say that this conversation and hearing all the candidates laughing makes me feel really proud that so many good quality people are running for our offices. And I mean that sincerely.
I would agree.
Yeah. We're very lucky in that regard.
We really
are.
Yeah.
It's really terrible when you have such hard choices.
But it's definitely a good problem to have, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Nice to be able to know that you can choose from many good people rather than worrying about, is there anybody I can pick?
Right.
Exactly.
Thank you all for speaking. And actually, this format was remarkably bug-free, which
No, it went really smoothly. It really did.
That's because we have to say thank you to Hazlet.
Exactly. Thank you to Hazlet.
Thank you, Hazlet.
Yes. She got
Thanks
this
to the
down.
league. Thanks to the league for putting this on. This was definitely nice and different than our regular forums, and it's just it was a delight. It really was.
It
Well,
was fun.
I'm sure you all are ready because the NAACP is putting on a normal form. So we're looking forward to having all of you guys on board. I know I am. I've learned even more from this form than I did from the last. So
good.
It's going to be a
Wayne,
tough choice.
we may hold out for speed dating. I'm just saying.
No, it's really fantastic. Getting to talk to people in this way is phenomenal, right? Like getting an opportunity to talk to folks. And I think maybe even a little bit more freely than when we're in person, right? Like I appreciate it. It's really awesome.
Yeah.
I
was going to say, go ahead.
I felt like, when we were sitting down with everybody, we were being asked the real questions that the community wants to ask because, we get presented with the issues, we get presented with various things that people want us to talk about. But when we're sitting face to face with people with real questions, with, real concerns right in front of their faces, it felt very real. I appreciated that.
I think the time constraint too really kept you on point. You couldn't ramble, you couldn't take breaths, you couldn't get off topic. You had a very specific time frame. You had to get your point across, and I think that helped.
It did.
Yeah. When I'd see that 30-second note come up, I'd start to panic a little bit and try to talk faster. But
I think it took some years off my life.
What I really noticed is I'm a really big hand talker. I'm a huge hand talker. They're just going everywhere. It is just like,
fine.
Gotta rein it in. Gotta rein it in.
It just means you're in your natural habitat. That's all.
One of the things that I really appreciated from this, it was really great to be able to talk with individuals to kind of let everyone know that, school board, city commission, it doesn't matter. It all matters. So, we needed everyone on board. So it was really cool to have that opportunity.
That's great. Yeah.
Kristen, I will say I'm pushing inclusivity and, having an unstable internet. I just, I hope that there's options for if people don't have that internet capacity or capability, that there's other ways to still involve them in this. So, and I have that issue. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. I appreciate that a great deal. You're right. Internet is a huge issue. Yeah.
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Well, and Kristen, since this is recorded, you get the video, but you also have the audio. So is there a way that you can just upload the audio so folks can listen to the audio aspect of it without necessarily needing the video piece?
I'll have to check. There may be a way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I mean, because we do Zoom meetings for my sorority, and so we have a soror who has a visual impairment, and so recording this is, we don't record it for the video for her, we record it for the audio piece.
Good idea.
Also closed captioning for people who may be hard of hearing. I'm hard of hearing sometimes, and so closed captioning or translated into Spanish too for people who have hard of speaking English.
True.
True.
I appreciate those comments. Yeah, you guys are right. And I can't remember when I'm doing the recording thing, if it gives me the option to do just audio or just, I think it's either or. I can't remember. When asked me, I'll be more conscious of it.
There will be different files, so you'll be able to do,
Okay. Okay.
Look, Ashley's the expert in this, but I was like, it gives you 2 files. So.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And I think James Minor just jumped in with us too at the very last here. Yeah, welcome,
Well,
James.
He's gonna have to listen to it or see it later because he missed it all. But thank you, Kristen. This was wonderful. I really appreciate you including us, the NAACP, to be a part of this.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be able to do more things in collaboration and continue to build on what we have going on here in Lawrence. Lawrence is it's a bit. I see it as growing and getting much better every day. So I appreciate all of you guys and the time that you put in to improve what's happening in Lawrence through all of us, because there are many organizations that are looking to do the same thing, but we need to do a better job of collaborating and working together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Wayne said it well. Yes, thank you all very, very much for being here this evening. Thank you for participating, and best of luck in the coming months up to Election Day and then beyond, of course, too. So